Hey everybody, Prairie Stooge here. Following some of the history videos I've done, which if you haven't seen, links in the description below, I realized that some of these motorcycles sound awesome, and I wanted to share some of my favorite sounding bikes that I've researched and found. And while this isn't a discreetly organized list, it isn't in order from best to worst, but they are, in my opinion, some of the best sounding bikes. Before we get started though, I wanted to let you guys know that we just launched this new t-shirt, and as usual, all of the proceeds go to a charity of my choosing. This time it will go towards the Limp Dick Wheelie Game, a foundation near and dear to my own heart where squidlets who are learning to wheelie become rehabilitated in finding their way of getting it up. Check it out in the description below or by clicking the card. I tried to find some rarer bikes for you guys to listen to so you get a taste of something a bit different. After all, variety is the spice of life. Alright, let's jump in. The CBR 250 RR. Kicking off our list is the CBR 250 RR, a screaming little inline four that revs out to nearly 20,000 RPM, and it sounds just as wild as you would expect. Take a listen. Many of these bikes are learner approved for restricted licenses, so it's a pretty awesome alternative to the boring small bore parallel twins that are usually associated with beginner bikes, provided you can put up with some of the quirks of an older bike. The Ducati Desmosedici RR. Going from inline 4 to huge V4s, the highly sought after and hugely expensive Desmosedici RR is a masterpiece from the Italian manufacturer Ducati. I've known about these bikes for a while, but after going through my Ducati history video, I looked into them more and found that they are much more than the sum of their parts. Take a listen. The Desmosedici RR might whisper light pretensions with its price tag, but it's an outstanding motorcycle that screams pedigree, and man, what a sound. The Honda CBX 1100. If you've seen my UJM video, you know that I had to include the CBX 1100, a screaming inline 6-cylinder bike that just might make the best sound here. A howling F1 style sound from this Japanese mill. Take a listen.
Thank you.
The CBX 1100 was short-lived as consumers didn't favor a 6-cylinder bike over other 4-cylinder offerings, but I'm glad to see there are still some rare examples being flogged out there. The cross-plane Yamaha R1. So this one might not exactly be rare. R1s are a pretty popular choice for the leader bike crowd. However, the distinct note from the cross-plane crank is one that is just too throaty and mean to not include in this list. Take a listen. The R1 hasn't always been a cross-plane crank, only the last two iterations of the superbike have had the distinct setup, and I think Yamaha has done a great thing by distinguishing themselves from their Japanese contemporaries by offering something with a little more character than the standard inline 4-cylinder. The Kawasaki H2 750. You knew a triple-cylinder motorcycle had to make its way into this list. I mean, come on, it's your boy Yami Dude making this list. I could have gone the easy route and included a 675 from Triumph, but check this one out. Old school, 2-stroke, carbureted 3-cylinder front from Kawasaki. Let's listen. brimming with character and an excellent old school vibe to it. I love the way the H2 750 sounds, and yes, it's the same H2 that the new one derives from. The Honda RC51. Man, I'm not even a Honda fanboy, but 3 of their motorcycles have made their way into this list. That's kinda crazy. The RC51 is Japan's answer to Ducati's twins, and Honda delivered. A throaty bark comes from this 1000cc twin and it sounds very mean. Here's a sound clip. The RC51 is a bike I'd love to get my hands on one day and ring out and have some fun with, but until then, I'll have to settle living vicariously through YouTube. The RZ or RD 500. Rounding off our list is another one from Yamaha, another 2-stroke, another V4, but with a dash of old school charm. The RZ or RD 500 has a fire-breathing sound. Take a listen. It's another old school bike that I'd love the chance to ride someday. I rode an RVF 400, a 4-stroke V4 when I visited Australia, but I'd love to experience the 2-stroke power band I've heard so much about. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. If you like the sounds, leave a thumbs up and a comment and let me know if I missed some even more awesome sounding bike. I probably did. Anyways, I'll catch y'all in the next one. See you later. Many physicists theorize that Yami has a definite number of list videos until he implodes, but as always, that's just a scientific theory. Goodbye.